Hot take, 25-year-old hanging out with 17-year-old at all is weird. And 25-year-old being in a room alone with a 17-year-old is weird. The Cody Ko situation, am I right, guys? Cody Ko is a YouTuber. A YouTuber that is kind of well-liked and well-respected in the community and shit. And the allegations are pretty crazy. Now, I heard about it through this random-ass Reddit post, but apparently it's something that's been circulating for the past 3 years. It's a huge thing. I don't even know who Cody Ko is, Lamau. He's a pretty big YouTuber. He has 6 mil subs, and he's been doing fine for himself for the past couple of years, and like millions of views for every single video. He's been doing well on himself. He also has a second channel where he uploads like more, I guess, React content, and he would do this even more frequently, and he's been doing well for himself. He's a pretty well-respected figure in, I guess, the commentary / React community. But all of that has changed after some recent allegations, which I found out about through this Reddit post that came out about 13 days ago. Let's change the music. Sure, volcano theme. The Cody Ko allegations is pretty much he slept with another influencer known as Tana-Con. She's been in the game since she was like 17. 9 years ago. She's currently 26 years old, so she's been like a YouTuber since she was 17. And somehow she managed to find herself in a party with Cody Ko. Tana-Con opens up about alleged underage hookup with YouTuber Cody Ko. The influencer clarified that she doesn't look back on a relationship with the then 25-year-old as a source of trauma. YouTube personality and podcaster Tana-Con has made waves in the creator space with impromptu remarks about fellow social media star Cody Ko having sex with her during a period in which they collaborated on videos when she was 17 years old and he was 25. But it was an even more puerile inquiry that led to shock and scandalized reactions. Asking about the smallest dick she's ever had sex with, she replied, "Oh my god, no one look at me, Cody Ko," as the room erupted in screams. She added, "I can say that I was literally 17. In California, where Ko has lived since 2015, the age of consent is 18. She brought this up in 2021, which is insane that nobody just gave a shit. Like nobody went out of their way to like call out Cody Ko about this. Like nobody made a big deal about it. She just said like, yes, I had sex with this guy when he was 25 and I was 17. Like you just said that in 2021 and nobody gave a shit for the next like 3 years. Has Cody said anything about this? Not at all. In fact, he's been trying to hide it for the past 3 years. If you go on to his most recent video, it's impossible to find a comment that has Tana's name in it. People are barely like finding out about this because D'Angelo Wallace, a well-known commentary YouTuber, decided to finally make a video on it. Nobody had made videos about it, even though this has been a thing that has been circulating for the past 3-4 years. Only recently has it come back over the past like 2 weeks, and I found out about this because of this Reddit post that came out on Critical's subreddit, because people wanted Moist Critical to make a video about it since he is like one of the more well-known commentary YouTubers, and nobody was really speaking out about it. If anything, it was just like rumors that were on Twitter, Reddit, etc. But it was nothing that anyone kind of wanted to like dig their hands into. The Cody Ko situation was something that has been like alleged for like the past like 3 years and recently came back to light in the past 2 weeks, and nobody wanted to talk about it until D'Angelo Wallace created this kind of like domino effect of like other commentary YouTubers speaking out about it because of this video. Fuck all of y'all who said this didn't matter. Fuck all of you who told me it was Tana. Who cares? Fuck you if you said 17 is the same as 18. That's another thing. This is a crazy fucking cope. People that say 17 is the same as 18. You are fucking weird if you think that way, because that's you just trying to push the line. It's like at some point you should think like, okay, this is a line that we should just keep it at. We should keep the age of consent at 18 and never push it. 17 is still considered a minor. Yeah, because it's the people that like are saying like, oh, but the age of consent in this other country is 16, which is disgusting. Because like even if people push the age of consent to 16, there are fuckers that are going to want to push the age of consent from 16 over to 15 now. They're like, oh man, the age of consent is 16 over here. Let's push it to 15. Come on, they're practically there. Same thing for 18. Oh, 17. Oh, you're already there. You're constantly going to keep pushing it until you eventually like get to like even more gross territory, which at some point we just leave it there. Leave it at 18. I think it's pretty safe to say 18 is the number. We should all keep it. You are fucking weird if you keep trying to push it. It's like, it's not that important to make a video about it. Thankfully, Charlie only talks about things that are verifiable. And to this point, there's nothing to prove Cody did anything. That is such a stupid fucking take, because commentary YouTube is all about fucking allegations. It's not about verifiables. Nobody in commentary YouTube are like actual journalists. Everybody in commentary YouTube just wants to talk about like the biggest scoop. Just want to talk about like what is epic and drama and shit. Nobody cares. The Dr. Disrespect shit, that wasn't even verifiable until like days into that being released. I'm using the Dr. Disrespect situation because it's very recent and it's very easy to like just to use that as an example. When that came out, people were just like talking about it like wildfire. But when the Tana shit came out, this was out 14 days ago. In fact, dude, the fucking allegations came out since 2021 and nobody cared. That's pretty much the end all be all of all this. I'm gonna show you guys D'Angelo Wallace's video on it because he's gonna explain it so much better than I do, just in case you guys don't get the grasp entirely.
Someone has been alleging for years now that you, one of the largest commentary creators on YouTube, knowingly committed a crime against her when she was a minor. But YouTubers and viewers alike are ignoring and discrediting these allegations solely because the person making them happens to be an unlikable woman online, Tana-Mojo. I can't blame any of your viewers or my viewers for not hearing about this, because you've done such a good job hiding it up until now that I only found out about it recently. The situation has been talked about by smaller channels, it's been discussed at length on other platforms, and it keeps almost hitting the mainstream, like with this Rolling Stone article or this H3 podcast discussion. But the reason it hasn't caught on yet, despite all of this, is that none of your friends, nobody on your level, nobody in the commentary niche with enough pull is willing to admit that this situation makes you look terrible. I'm not here to accuse you of committing a crime in this video because I can't do that based on someone else's allegations. Nobody can definitively take these allegations as proof, but at the same time, they should still be looked at and not treated as an open secret and swept under the rug like you've been doing for so many years now. We both know that Tana-Mojo is a YouTube personality with a history of lies, controversy, and genuinely problematic behavior that's become so entangled with her brand that her podcast is called Cancelled with Tana-Mojo. And speaking of this podcast, about a month ago, she hosted a live episode in front of an audience, and the conversation turned to you.
Who's the smallest you've ever had sex with?
Oh my God, no one look at me, Cody Ko. I can say that. I was literally 17, I can say that.
Crazy to think that like your rape allegations is out there because you have a small dick. Like not to like make fun of the situation, but it's kind of crazy that the reason all this information got out there is because somebody asked Tana-Mojo who's the smallest dick out there, and they very quickly just said Cody Ko. And it's like, God damn it! If only I had a bigger dick, type shit.
So people started speculating, and Tana decided to set the record straight.
I hooked up with Cody Ko when I was 17 and he was 25.
She claims that not only were you fully aware of her age at the time, but someone even tried to stop you, and you went ahead anyway.
There was a situation with Gabby Hanna at a Playlist Live where she pulled him aside and told him like, yo, she's 17. And then we still went and hooked up.
To be clear, 17 is under the age of consent in many states, including Florida, where Playlist Live used to take place. So this means that Tana-Mojo is accusing you of statutory rape, and she's not trying to hide that.
This isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime.
Nothing would make this situation better, but plenty of things make it worse, like the fact that she was a fan of yours at the time, adding an additional layer to the power dynamic you would have had over her.
I grew up loving him, and I think you know what I mean? Like I was just like excited and a fan.
If I had a 17-year-old daughter or a little sister or something, like I would kill.
I would never let it fly.
These recent
Like,
allegations...
it's crazy to see, like, she was on like 2 podcasts talking about it, and just now people are deciding to like speak out about it. Like this feels like shit that should have taken Twitter by storm, taken like over like the internet, and got in like on Cody Ko like immediately the moment like shit like this dropped. But no, it took a commentary YouTuber finally deciding to talk about it for that to actually happen. It's like, it's embarrassing that that's like like what it took.
But what lends the most credibility to Tana's claims, and what is really the most damning thing for you, Cody, is a clip that you might not have even seen yet. See, I read the Rolling Stone article, I watched the YouTube videos about this, and they all missed something. And I understand why. The clip I'm about to show you is extremely hard to find. The original has been lost to time, and it's a wonder we have this on video at all. But if there was anything to give me any more clarity about these allegations before I formed my opinion, I was going to find it. Remember how Tana said that fellow YouTuber Gabby Hanna tried to stop you before everything allegedly went down? Well, did you know that Gabby is actually on record telling the exact same story several years ago?
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know, I know she like looks a little older, she's underage, watch it. And he's like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then he turned that
like a deep fried video. It's crazy to think like how you found this. How the fuck do you find these things? Like some kid is randomly screen recording their viewing of everything, every video that they watched back in like 2018 or some shit. It's like crazy how you find this clip.
A crime which you've said absolutely nothing about. And even if this wasn't illegal, you remember being 25. You would have known then, as I currently know at age 25, that nobody this age should...
And that's such a crazy thing. Like, what do you have in common with a 17-year-old when you're at the age 25? I don't think I myself would have anything in common with, like, I would have a little bit in common, but I feel like a completely different person from myself at 17 to me now at like 19, getting close to like 20.
The answer to why any of us should care is that a person has tried to come forward about her experience and has been met with the most vitriolic victim blaming I've seen in years.
This is so fucking crazy. Like, she seems like the cliche party girl who gets wasted drunk doing whatever drug a guy will set her free, sleeps with anyone who will give her attention, and then later regrets it. That's fucking crazy. It's just like very, very quickly assume like rape is bad. Rape is bad. Like, can we agree on that, guys? Like, who gives a shit? The woman that she is, or what she does, or how she gets into the situation. It's like rape is bad. That's a bad thing.
I find your silence on the situation to be uncomfortable because I know that if Tana's allegations are true, then silence would be your only option, since telling the truth would be tantamount to confessing to a crime, and lying would put you at risk of being contradicted by a witness. And like I told you at the beginning, I'm not accusing you of committing a crime, but even if what Tana says is false, your silence is still grossly incompetent at best. Why are you choosing the path that would be your only option if you were guilty?
I said something about it online and it was starting to surface, and he texted me like, are we good? And was like,
That's crazy that like what she's saying, what she's alleging, that when all of these allegations started to surface, Cody Ko texted Tana, are we good? That's crazy. Are we good, bro? Are you insane? Yeah, like, and he was like, my wedding's coming up. Great follow-up, bro. Like,
yeah. And like,
you are being accused of rape. My wedding's coming up. Do you want to come meet my wife? Like,
you do have a history of making bad choices when you're terrified of people finding things out, like your history of using slurs.
5 nigga, 6 nigga, 7 nigga, 8 nigga, 9 nigga.
There's more clips than that, but the reason most people are blissfully unaware of them is because you posted your vague apology not on Twitter, not on YouTube, but on Patreon, despite acknowledging in your apology.
That's cool. Hey y'all, some old vines where I say some really insensitive things have been surfacing on Twitter. They were really ignorant videos, and I wish I never made them. Last thing I want is for someone to feel alienated because of something stupid I said. It was a mistake. Sorry I let y'all down. Cody. By the way, this is behind a fucking paywall. Pay $5 to be able to see my apology. Phase up.
Not many people know that you've already lost fans over an eerily similar topic. You used to frequently feature and promote your college friend Colby Leachman in your videos until it came out that during your school days, Leachman's university put him on probation for, as a United States District Judge would later put it, the non-consensual videotaping of a sex act with another student, showing the video to other people, lying to the police about the video, and behaving horribly to that individual and at least one other woman. To make matters worse, the woman in the video also alleged that Leachman drugged her before the recording and that she hadn't actually consented.
It's just getting worse and worse. It's just piling on top. Like, How terrible can this human be? Holy shit.
To anything at all. You had this man in your videos. You were telling us to follow him on Instagram. And at some point, you did wise up, so he's no longer part of your content, but he still seems like he's very much a part of your friend group. From the continued hangout since then to inviting him to your wedding just last...
Wow. Alleged rapist invites rapist to his wedding.
People are under the impression that you're best friends with someone who, at best, committed an illegal sex act and at worst is an alleged rapist. And no matter how many times people rediscover this information over the years, you refuse to say anything. No matter
alleged rapist is very generous. Like, from what you said, like, he was straight up suspended for doing that. Like, he did that shit. Like, he had that video, he did that shit.
But surely you must have realized the limits by now, since people have just transferred the conversation over to your wife's channel. The fact that her comment section is overrun due to your decision to stay silent about this should be all the proof you need that that decision was wrong. At this point, your silence and censorship are a response with disturbing implications. The only thing that I've seen this hidden portion of your audience asking for is the truth. So why aren't you telling it? And your silence isn't the only one that's bothering me either.
All these Reddit threads, like if my name's on any thread, it's all getting deleted.
I witnessed the heavy-handed moderation of your subreddit in real time as I researched this video. I would refresh the page and posts would suddenly be unapproved by moderators after racking up hundreds of comments. I'm sure whoever is doing this thinks they're helping you, but you should probably tell them that they're making things look 10 times worse. But it's not just your moderators, it's your friends and fellow YouTubers too. It's no coincidence that with the exception of the H3 podcast, I haven't seen a single channel over 1 million subscribers do so much as acknowledge that this situation exists. And I'm not talking about channels that never would have discussed something like this either. I mean the same channels that were rightfully calling out people like Dr. Disrespect for texting a minor, which are the same channels that are now completely ignoring a scenario with an even bigger creator being accused of doing something much worse. You can't say it's because the allegations are unconfirmed, because the channels that I'm talking about discuss rumors all the time. And this video is all the proof you need that there's still plenty to discuss even without making definitive statements.
Like, this is shit that would have been in the bottom of the iceberg, of the Cody Ko iceberg. Like, this wouldn't have been up there. This would have been at the very bottom. Like, you would have to look for this shit. It's crazy that it just wasn't talked about all these years. Like, it makes you think, like, how many things of, like, your favorite content creators are could currently be getting covered up or be, like, just not getting talked about enough. Like, what shit is there out there on, like, your favorite content creators that could be getting covered up in the same way that Cody Ko's shit was for the past 4 years. Like this could have happened to any content creator, really.
It's a fact that you and Tana were around each other during the year she specified, as seen in your uncomfortable collab videos, which are still online. It's a fact that Gabby Hanna has made claims that...
Why would you collab? I don't know. It just feels... It's just so weird. Being a content creator is so weird. At 25 years old, why would you want... Especially as like a 25-year-old, like I guess like male, why would you want to collab with a 17-year-old kid? Like, who cares how much clout they have, how much clout you have, how, like, that's just weird. I don't know. Hot take. 25-year-old hanging out with 17-year-old at all is weird. And 25-year-old being in a room alone with a 17-year-old is weird. 25-year-old, like, stranger being in a room with a 17-year-old kid is weird. And should never be the case.
Regardless of the truth of the situation, I'm just so disappointed either way. That is all. Goodbye, Cody.
Crazy video. And that kind of spiraled an entire... Like, if you just look up Cody Ko, you'll find a bunch of just, like, commentary YouTubers just talking about MarcLIVE. Like, the Cody Ko situation. Like, sad boys are talking about it. The Cody Ko situation just got worse, like Tom Dark, Some Ordinary to Gamers. Like, all of this is after D'Angelo Wallace made their video. This is, what's it called? Critical's video. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I want to watch the end where he explains why he never talked about it, because for some reason people are giving Critical the most shit about it.
So I'd like to at least take a quick moment here to explain why I hadn't covered it. Now, I did hear the whispers about this Cody Ko allegation about a week ago now, where someone in stream chat had mentioned, hey, have you heard what Cody Ko apparently did with Tana-Mojo? And on stream, I asked what they were talking about because I hadn't heard shit about that. Eventually, another chatter explained that I could find more information about it on Reddit because a conversation was starting to develop around those allegations. So I made like a note of it and then went to bed. And when it came to the Cody Ko thing with the Reddit post, by the time I got to it, it was deleted. So I kind of assumed that maybe the claims were just baloney. And I didn't see a whole lot of chatter about it. I saw a couple of tweets that loosely talked around it vaguely. And I just didn't look into it deeper than that. And I recognize now that that was a mistake, so I'm sorry for that. But I just didn't...
It's such a crazy thing, though. I don't know. Like, have I found any information about, like, a friend or I guess even, like a coworker, content creator, acquaintance? If I find even, like, anything that, like, an allegation as serious as this, as, like, oh, yeah, like, even if you just saw, like, the subtitle, the headline of, like, Cody Ko... like statutory rape, like I would want to look into that. It's crazy for him to have like this kind of like nonchalant nature of being like, yeah, I guess I just didn't look into it, I just assumed it was baloney. So it's like I feel like this is still somewhat cope, again probably because it was Tana too. Yeah, but it's like there's so much substance to it as well, with like the Gabby video, all the interviews that Tana had been giving, the fact that they were hanging out with each other, that they did have collabs with each other back when she was 17. It's like the evidence is pretty damning. Charlie is too busy looking for the Mark Poopy Boy allegations. He is not looking for that. I did not poop my pants.
I wanted to talk about this because obviously it's a very serious situation. Cody Ko absolutely should come forward to explain all of it, and if there is another side to this story, tell it. If it's wrong, set the record straight. It's a very...
If there is another side to this story, there is another side to this story. Like everyone wants to hear Cody respond to it. It's just the fact that he doesn't, and that makes it insanely guilty, as well as the moderation that he makes on it.
This can't be another paywalled apology situation or anything like that. This should definitely be something that he comes forward and actually talks about. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.
Only brave statements on the Moist Critical channel. But yeah, that's the Cody Ko situation. We don't know much about it. It's still like a developing thing until we get some information from Cody. I'm thinking we're gonna wait on a response. I'm pretty sure there should be a response, and it will be incredibly cowardly if he doesn't if we don't get a response. That is that situation.